How old is that apple that you're slicing up for breakfast right now? Might surprise you, but the technology to keep it around as long as a year has been around for nearly 100 years. So how's that work? Why do they do it, and does it lose any nutrition? All of those are questions we were wondering when it came up during a story we did on Honeycrisp apples a few weeks ago. They're gone, picked and sold. Well, not all of them. Many of them are sleeping. I don't see any apples, Nick. This is the seal you put on it already?
This is the seal here. It's got seals along the outside and the bottom. The bottom you use like basically Vaseline.
The air we breathe is about 21% oxygen. The air inside there, around 2%. And the temperature just a hair above freezing. They call it CA, controlled atmosphere.
This is what controls each one of those rooms.
And it's all designed to get those apples to settle in for a long winter's nap. Why? Take this apple, for example. He's basically breathing, pulling in oxygen, and then releasing carbon dioxide. And that's the whole process that causes him to ripen and then eventually rot.
And by pulling in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide, it's taking the starches in the apple and turning them into sugars.
And if you can slow down that process, you can coax an apple into sticking around for some varieties a very long time. Why is this so important to be able to put these guys and store them this long, up to a year?
Just so farmers can, sell them at reasonable prices and still, survive, basically. Because if we all sold them all at once in the fall, the price would be rock bottom.
And we'd only be eating apples once a year, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this building, this facility that has all these apples in here makes it possible for people to enjoy apples year-round. It's not just apples. The same technology can extend the life of fruits and veggies like cherries, berries, celery, onions, and potatoes. And that makes farming in Michigan big business.
Michigan's the second most diverse agricultural state in the Union. We grow the second most crops behind California.
But if our produce is getting a bit long in the tooth by the time it meets our teeth, is it losing nutrition? The answer is no.
We put them just kind of in a sleep mode, and then they come out just as good as they went in.
So you may be tempted to ask, how them apples? Pretty sweet. Fact is, most varieties get better as they age because all those starches turn to sugars. And they make those apples even sweeter than they were when they were picked right off the tree. Not necessarily true for every single apple variety out there. Honeycrisp apples, really good right off the tree. You've probably noticed that before, but like Red Delicious, not so good off the tree, but better if they've aged a little bit. Kind of like a fine wine.
And that's one of those things you do see in the stores year-round.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Interesting story, Brett.
Yeah.
It's 6:20.